just stop talking to him. Give him the silent treatment. Spend time by yourself. Go find a life and go start becoming active in your life with friends, with family. Go on a little vacation by yourself and don't fill him in on everything and tell him everything at the last minute. Keep him out of the loop. Do the same thing. You know, when he wants to talk to you, just say, I'm not going to talk to you until you have something, respectful and beneficial for me to hear. And just leave him like that. Okay. If he tries to ignite arguing on your phone, just block him. Turn off, mute, whatever you got to do. And you got to make sure that he understands he is not the priority and you are the prize. And if he wants your respect and for you to talk to him, then he's got to abide by your request. Okay? And go have your own life. You got to emotionally detach, because a lot of times when you're arguing too much in a marriage, it's because you're too emotionally attached and y'all aren't hearing each other. You got to emotionally detach and go have your own life and do what you got to do while they sit around and think about your absence, what it is to not have you around and what you're out there doing and why you're not calling and why you're blocked and all this kind of stuff. Because guess what? This is the cycle. Be unpredictable, be vague, leave them in suspense, give them a problem to solve, and then repeat. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's how you keep them obsessed. You don't do too much. You keep them chasing, keep them wondering, keep them in the dark, keep them solving your problems. And when they want to spend time with you, then you tell them your list of requirements to spend time with you. That's literally it.
You need to show this motherfucker a glimpse of what life looks like without you in it. Shut the fuck up if you want your man to change. Now, I get a lot of women who send me a lot of DMs asking me, Coach Ken, ultimate gentleman, he won't change, he won't listen to me, I keep talking and blah, 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 blah. How many times I gotta tell you ladies to shut the fuck up? Words don't matter to us men. Indirect communication doesn't matter to us men. Long ass messages don't matter to us men. We retarded. We can't read that long shit anyway. If you want him to change, then you need to change yourself. What does that mean? Instead of talking, instead of sending them messages, instead of repeating the same conversation over again, you got to actually start implementing the shit that you want to be different. What does that mean? You need to show this motherfucker a glimpse of what life looks like without you in it. Go to the gym. Get your hair done. Get your nails done. As great as you can. Go out with your girls. Start prioritizing yourself. Start educating yourself. Start making yourself a first priority. And once he realizes that you are starting to shine and you starting to glow and you starting to be happy without this motherfucker and it looks like you may be able to walk out the door, that's when he's gonna want to make different decisions to reel you back in and keep him in his motherfucking life. But if you let him reel you back in, you need to make it crystal clear of your expectations, your desires, and what you want. And if he can't do that, leave the motherfucker. But if you want him to change, you need to show him change by your actions and not your motherfucking words.
You don't understand what silence does to a man, but energetically and psychologically it changes the entire dynamic. Part 1, the change. When you were always there, always explaining, always the one reaching out first, he felt safe, certain, in control. Not because he didn't care, but because your presence was predictable. But the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop over-giving, the moment you choose yourself, respect yourself over needing validation, you become unpredictable. And nothing shifts a dynamic faster than when someone no longer has access they thought would always be there. Make sense? Part 2, the space. Silence creates space, and space creates realization. When you stop filling the silence with messages, with explanations and emotions, he is left alone with his thoughts. And in that silence, he doesn't hear your words. He feels your absence. because the energy that was once chasing is now standing still. And what stands still often starts to be noticed and valued much more than all the messages. Number 3, the real power. Silence is not a game. I want to be clear. Silence is not punishment. Silence is a woman who remembers who she is. When you stop reacting, then you change the pattern. When you stop proving, you change your position. When you stop chasing, you change your value. Silence is not about controlling someone else. Silence is about mastering yourself. And that kind of energy is magnetic.
Let me break it down for you what silence does to a man. Number 1, it makes him feel your absence strongly. See, let me tell you, men may not always say it, but they notice quickly when your voice, your good morning text, your laughter, or even those little complaints go missing. Silence makes him realize just how much value, how much space you actually feel in his life. 2, emotional restlessness. A man that is in love with you will find your silence unsettling. It will make him replay moments in his mind, asking himself, did I hurt her? Is she slipping away? What can I do to fix this? Number 3, it awakens his mind to pursue you. Silence can stir men's natural instinct to chase. The lack of communication and attention becomes louder, and he will feel automatically drawn to close the gap. Remember, a woman's silence is never empty, and silence is a woman's superpower.
Times when you feel like you've spoken so much about a certain issue, you've complained and even begged, but no change is being done, especially in a relationship and in a marriage. As women, most of us, we resort to silence. We just decide to reserve our peace and just let him be. We do not do it the first time he does it. We do not do it to punish him. Usually it's after you've spoken a lot of times about a certain issue and he's not changing, he's not willing. It's like you're talking to a wall, you're talking to yourself, you're talking to a child, and it gets exhausting. Everyone gets exhausted at a certain point. So as women, we then end up going quiet, going silent, because we are tired of talking. We're not going silent because we don't want to be with you anymore, or we want to teach you a lesson. It's because everyone gets tired, especially when you are talking to a grown-up man, someone you expect to do their part, someone you expect to know how to handle a relationship and a marriage. So a lot of times you find that men, when you keep on talking and talking, it's like you're talking to a wall. Look at, for instance, it could be something as small as pick up your clothes. Don't leave your clothes on the floor. They may do it a few times and then go back to leaving their clothes on the floor. Also, in the kitchen, it could be, please put your plates in the sink, wash your cup, wash your glass. It's a small thing to do, and you find that he's not doing it. He just does it maybe for the first 2 days, you tell him, and it goes back to his old ways. So those things can be tiring. It could be that or other things as well. It's a lot of things that men do, and you feel like he's just not listening to me. So at the end of the day, as women, we end up resorting to silence because we're tired of talking. Everyone gets tired of talking at a certain point. We go quiet because we want you to see, we want you to actually sit with yourself. And what it does then, when we go quiet, you start to think, because now I'm not communicating, you are filling that gap, you're filling the space. A man starts to think, starts to notice that gap, starts to feel the absence of communication, the absence of you talking, yelling, as they call it, complaining. They start to feel as well intimacy, because as women, when we're being let down emotionally, we also shut down. There's no intimacy. Who wants to be intimate with someone who keeps letting you down emotionally? So our emotional connection, our emotional safety does a lot of things. It makes us feel safe. It makes us actually want to be around you, be intimate with you. So when you keep on letting us down, we then don't want anything to do with you. You don't want to be a part of it. So, man, when there's that silence, we then expect you to actually go within yourself to actually see where you're going wrong. Do self introspection and actually correct, because you already know what your woman is unhappy about. You already know where the issue is. You already know what the problem is. So we're hoping that with that silence, when I go quiet, when your woman goes quiet, you then go within yourself and actually try and correct whatever it is wrong in the relationship, whatever it is your woman has been complaining about.
This is what silence actually does to a man, where you can save yourself time and energy and not be crashing out, trying to write these long paragraphs and do all this other stuff. And before you sit here and say, oh, he doesn't care, blah, 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 all this stuff, he's moved on. Yeah, he's moved on for now. Trust me, they come back. And if he doesn't come back, that's one that just really didn't care about you to begin with, so you shouldn't be chasing him anyways. That silence is hitting a little bit more harder because he realizes that he is no longer in control of what you actually have going on. One of the biggest things that he cannot control, and that is your emotions. He loves when you send those long text messages. He loves when you start crashing out, because that means he has a sense of control over you. He'll never know what he actually had or fumbled up until you walk away, give him silence, because now he can sit and think in his own thoughts. And he realizes, I had a good woman, but I wanted to continue to do things, and I took those things for actual granted.
You don't understand what silence does to a man, because if you did, you wouldn't waste your time crashing out, sending paragraphs, or blowing up his phone. I'm going to explain to you what silence does to a man psychologically. So save this, send this to your friends. Probably gonna have to make a part 2. So if you want a part 2, comment below. Number 1, he loses predictability and control. Your consistent emotional presence made him feel safe. But when you are the one to walk away, when you are the one to go silent, you are reflecting back to him a person that he doesn't recognize. Because what did he say to you? He said, I just can't give you what you need. He thought you were suffocating. He thought you were demanding. But all of a sudden, he's realizing, wow, she doesn't need me as much as I thought she did. 2, it creates a psychological void. Your silence creates a vacuum, and human nature hates emptiness. So he tries to fill the void by replaying memories, getting into surface level flings, rebound relationships. Men feel more for you in your absence than in your presence, because oftentimes men don't know how to articulate what they want until that woman walks out of their life and they realize, wow, that woman actually had everything that I needed. Why? Because access breeds blindness. He became blissfully unaware of just how good he had it until distance provides perspective, which will communicate all of the things your words couldn't. And 3, it triggers obsessive thinking. We don't obsess over the things in our life that feel complete. And since you are no longer the one to close the gap, since you are no longer the one to take initiative and try to find a resolution, he doesn't know how to handle.
I think men may only respond to silence. What do you think? Like, you can talk, explain, cry, plead all day, and it still won't hit the same as when you just stop talking. Because silence says what words can't. It says, I'm done trying to make you understand. It says, you had access to me and you wasted it. And that quiet, that's when they start hearing everything you were saying before. That's when it finally clicks that you meant what you said. It's not about being colder or playing games. It's about protecting your peace. Sometimes your absence teaches more than your presence ever could. So no, you don't have to prove your point anymore. You don't have to over explain how you feel. You just fall back, let your silence speak, and you let peace do the talking for you. Because when a woman stops explaining, that's when she's really done. And trust me, they always hear the silence louder than the words.
Ladies, stop texting that motherfucker. He don't want you. He going off fucking somebody else right now. And this is me speaking as a man who's done it. And I'm speaking as a man who coaches hundreds and hundreds of men. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ladies, I know you don't want to hear it. I know it doesn't feel good. But the only thing you can do right now is to go silent. You have to rise above your emotions and start thinking logically and step into reality and see what you dealing with. Them long ass messages is not gonna work. All them tears is not gonna work. And I have all the empathy for you in the world because I understand how painful that is. Because I've hurt a woman like that, then also I've been hurt and I've been in the position to where I'm begging, pleading, and chasing for a motherfucker who don't even want me. So I know what that feels like, but ladies, you have to rise above emotions and understand that unfortunately, the brother is gonna do what he wants to do. That motherfucker is gonna do what he wanna do. And there is nothing that you can do to change that. The only thing that you can do is feel the pain, feel the hurt. Don't go out there trying to get back to him. Don't go out there trying to make that motherfucker jealous. Don't go out there trying to convince him to change his mind. You get better. You work on yourself. You get in your Bible. You watch your videos. You go to the gym. You eat better. You connect with like-minded people to where you can be in the community and you can better yourself and be a better version of yourself, and eventually the pain will surpass. So you have to rise above your emotions, step into reality, stop fucking begging, stop fucking pleading, and slowly let go.
You want to know the type of woman that men never really get over? It's not the one who cried or begged or blew up his phone. It's the woman who left without a word. She didn't have a meltdown. She didn't send a warning. She didn't have any essay length type text messages out to him. That girl was just gone. Because when you're chasing him and you're calling him with the breakdowns, he's sitting there thinking, yes, great, she's hooked. I got her. She loves me. I'm the best. That's comfort to him. That's his little cushy comfort zone. But when you go quiet, when you don't even explain why you're done, because you're so done, that's what shakes that man to the core. Because silence, this is what it says: I am not fighting for space in your life anymore. And that's the moment that he realizes, wow, I think it's actually over. Because girl, Maserati doesn't advertise. Why? Because value doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply commands respect. And when your self-worth finally speaks to you louder than your feelings for him, that's when the games end.
There are also certain women who, instead of going quiet, they keep on talking and complaining and yelling and begging and crying. So now, going quiet, it also depends on your attachment style as a woman. There are some people who have healthy attachment styles. There are some people who do not have them. So a woman who doesn't have a healthy attachment style, she then keeps on begging, she then keeps on crying, she then keeps on complaining about all those things. But a woman who has a healthy attachment style chooses silence, because in silence you then master detachment, which is very beneficial for your mental health. We know there's a lot of autoimmune diseases that as women we get in these relationships, in these marriages, like high cortisol. Those stresses really create autoimmune diseases. So when you go silent, when you master detachment, it then benefits your health and also your mental health. Mental health is very, very serious and very important in a relationship, in a marriage, whatever situation you are in, as long as you're dealing with a man. You have to take care of your health. You have to take care of your mental health. And it starts with your attachment style. It starts with what you're choosing to do. And it starts by you choosing yourself, by you recognizing that it doesn't help me in any way to keep on talking, to keep on complaining, but instead, let me detach, let me go silent. Because if you keep on talking, you're stressing yourself, you're raising your stress levels, which then give you high cortisol, giving you also immune diseases. And you do not want that. No one wants that. You do not want to be in and out of the doctor's office. You do not want to be popping medication every day because you are stressed in a relationship, because you are stressed in a marriage. So a woman choosing silence is very beneficial for your mental health and also for her as a person, because you then master detachment, which is very good. A lot of women nowadays are learning about detachment, are actually mastering detachment. So when you go quiet, in that time alone, in that space alone, you then learn that there is actually something called detachment, which is very beneficial. You then realize that your mental health is better.
They will feel the impact of your silence the moment you do this. The moment that you stand on business, this is when they're going to feel the impact of your silence. Because now you're serious. Now you're looking at it as, okay, hey, Let me show them better than I can tell them. Let me distance myself from this person, not respond to their texts, not respond to their phone calls. Let me just focus on myself, because what I was doing in the past, chasing them, putting them on this pedestal, right? Trying to make them realize that I'm the one for you. Hey, I was here. I still want you. That actually repelled them. That energy that I was giving off, it repelled them. That's why they with somebody else, or they say I needed space or time for myself. All of these excuses that they tell you versus telling you that they just don't want to be with you because you had this needy energy. You smothered them. Too many arguments, right? They don't want to say all that. They're ready to just have a cliche, I need to work on myself. It's not you, it's me situation. But when you stand on business and say, hey, I'm about to go silent. I'm about to let you do you because I'm about to do me, baby. You know, I'm about to live my life now. They gonna feel that because now you're no longer available to them anymore. Every time that they had an issue or every time that they wanted to play this game with you, you was right there. You'll take them back on the drop of a dime, just like that. But now you realize that, hey, I've been hurt too many times. I've been played too many times. This person is putting me on the back burner. You have more respect for yourself now. You saying, hey, look, I get it. You don't want to be with me? Cool. Let me go somewhere else. Now they like, wait. Let me reel you back in. Let me still get your validation. Let me still get this ego boost. But now you no longer that person anymore. The impact of your silence is going to really, really, really impact them. They're going to feel it. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to be looking at their phone. Your name is no longer on there anymore. They're going to call you straight to voicemail. They're going to want to see you on social media. They're going to call you and say, hey, can we meet up? It's been a couple of weeks or months. I haven't heard from you. That's the bait you in. Say no. Don't reply. Leave them on red. And when you do finally decide to reply, tell them, hey, these are my boundaries and standards. If you can't abide by my rules, leave me alone. If you want to abide by these rules, then maybe, just maybe, I might give you a time of day. But now it's on your time. It's not on their time anymore.
Silence disciplines a man faster than any argument ever will. Here's why. When you argue with him after he disrespects you, he reacts to your words, not what he did. But when you go quiet and pull back, he's now forced to sit in it. That's the difference between being heard and actually making an impact. Step 1, say it once. Don't raise your voice. No re-explaining yourself. Say, that wasn't okay, and then stop talking. Don't build a case against him, and don't ever repeat yourself. Step 2, pull back your energy, not your presence. Still show up where you need to, but drop the warmth, the jokes, and the extra effort that you keep putting in. Let him feel the temperature change. Step 3, only re-engage when you see effort from him, not words. An apology means nothing when his behavior remains.
Silence is every man's kryptonite. For the simple fact that the number one way to show a man that your energy has shifted is not through going complete pitbull mode and Bronx mode, right? It's not through acting like a child and screaming and complaining, right? It's none of that kind of stuff. It's learning how to use silence, knowing when to talk and knowing when not to talk. That will be registered as a shift in your energy. And guys will begin to become inquisitive and start behaving in a way that reveals how they feel about you. That also gives you some sense of comfort, because sometimes we feel insecure because they're so vague. They're so hot and cold. And silence forces them to stop playing those goofy games, right? And I don't want you guys to be a bunch of manipulators, okay? You guys are not pit bulls. I don't want you guys to be manipulators, because then you tell people you watch my channel and then they say Father Alex hasn't reformed, okay? I want you guys to develop this as a way to preserve your self-esteem so that you don't have to overextend to men, okay? Because it does hurt. Some guys are really good at getting you guys to chase, and that really pisses everyone off. That pisses you off, that pisses Father Alex off, okay? So we're gonna be talking about that, and we have illustrated some of these points right here, okay? For one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org. And also, there's a free ebook, people. Yeah, that's right. My illustrations, we have put my illustrations in an ebook. So what I've done is I have, and to be transparent, I have my video scripts, my video transcript. I asked an AI to remove all of the bad editing on the video and just keep the transcript in paragraph form. And then since I'm making drawings for them, we use the drawings along with the script and an ebook. So if you guys want the first chapter, just click on the description down below. It's my voice. All I'm doing is just asking the AI just to edit the words so it sounds like, you know, respectable, okay? But it's my voice. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just go check it out, and it has my illustrations. It's a mix of my drawings and my videos, okay? So click on that, put your email there, and you'll get it to your email, or else I'm closing the channel, okay? So let's begin. So let's talk about how silence affects this sinvergüenza atrevido, okay? So the first one is that when you stop chasing, you remove your energy and attention. That's the first thing that happens, okay? And that you first do that by literally lowering your expectation, okay? It is a game. It's self-respect, right? You don't chase a guy who's not giving you the same energy, right? Sometimes, by the way, people, Father Alex is not moving. That's my art material right there. So I gotta just clean up. The cleaner's coming today, people. I have a cleaner coming here today. So stop judging. Stop judging, okay? So the first thing is that you stop chasing, and you stop chasing by just changing your expectations, right? And just, I'll be honest with you. I think the best way to do this is to learn to hand over things to God. Just say, God, you know, like, do your will. Why? Because God's will is much better than your creepy will. Yeah, that's right, your creepy will, okay? Sometimes we just become persistent, and that's a positive trait in life. But when it comes to relationship, persistence, it may not be a good thing, right? You gotta learn to develop a take it or leave it attitude, right? Because when you develop that take it or leave it attitude, your eyes become open to men. Your eyes become open to other people's manipulation. Sometimes our desires narrows the scope of our vision, like Robert Greene said, right? And when that happens, you become very blind. You become blind like the creepy little baby. You don't want that, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Oh, by the way, one more thing. We're gonna start doing like pet drawings. If you guys want Father Alex to draw your pets, just let me know. For $75, I'll do like a little drawing of your pet and send it to you. This is the evil Chihuahua, because the pit bull community were offended that I was defaming pit bulls. So now I gotta do a Chihuahua. It's crazy, yo. Pit bull mommies and pit bull lovers always do whataboutism. What about Chihuahua? What about the ankle biters? It's like, what are you talking about? These are the baby eaters. Yeah, ankle biters. Give me the ankle biter over the baby eater any day. Anyway, sorry about that, people. I don't mean to alienate you guys. So right after you stop chasing, something amazing happens, okay? So you lower your energy, right? And you think, oh my Lord, he's gonna leave me, right? You start acting like a Chihuahua. You start getting sad. You start getting dramatic, okay? But then something amazing happens. The vacuum becomes created. Yeah, that's right, people. The vacuum, okay? The vacuum is when the attention he was used to all of a sudden poof, disappears, okay? And that don't mean that you stop talking to him. It's just that your energy lowers. A lot of the time, it's like a crackhead, right? And he's used to 1 gram of crack. Now you're only giving him 0.5 of crack, okay? What happens with that crackhead is that he starts to get looking needy. He starts like, where's the crackhead? Where's the crack, right? Where's the validation, right? Where's, she's not doing spinning Roonies for me anymore, right? She's taking a long time. She's taking a long time to text me now, right? That type of stuff makes men go completely apoplectic, ladies and gentlemen, right? Why? Because he's using you for self-esteem. He doesn't have a source of happiness, because most likely when he was a creepy little baby, they didn't give him the love that he deserves, okay? Babies deserve love, even men, right? And so when that vacuum, when you pull away, he'll start to act in an uncontrollable way. Why? Because you're not numbing him. Your validation is a way to numb people's needy behavior. Is a way to numb people's insecurities, right? And that's how a lot of people use people.
You have no idea what your silence does to a man. So let me break it down for you, because this is psychological warfare at its finest. Number 1, when you were consistent, he felt safe, predictable, and in control. He thought he had you figured out until you went silent. When you walk away with your peace and your power, suddenly he sees a version of you that he does not recognize. And girl, that shakes him. That makes him realize, wait a minute, she doesn't need me like she used to. Number 2, silence is going to create that void. Here's the truth that most women don't even realize. He misses your presence when you're not around as much. He feels more for you in your absence than he ever did in your presence. In the quiet, it starts to echo. He starts replaying every memory, every word. Number 3, that emptiness. Girl, it's brutal. It forces him to mind spiral. Your silence is about to become the loudest thing in his head. And the only voice he hears is yours, because you're not answering anymore. That's when the obsession starts. That's when he starts to wonder if he just lost the one thing that made him feel powerful. So girl, don't break that silence too soon. Let your peace speak louder than your pain. Share this with your bestie who needs to stop texting him. Follow for more reminders of just how powerful you are.
Your silence as a woman is truly so powerful, you have no idea. And when it's used right, it can be a man's greatest wake-up call and the deepest realization that he'll ever experience. Your absence will force a man to finally see the truth that you've been trying to tell him throughout the entire time of being with him. Your silence as a woman in a man's life creates space, and when you create space, it does two things. One, you remove the benefits of convenience from his life. You're no longer the patient listener who you once were. You're no longer cleaning up the emotional mess that you didn't even make in the first place. And two, it also creates a void, and within that void, a man now has to self-reflect on the things that you've been telling him the whole time. Over-explaining isn't going to get a man to self-reflect. Overcompensating is not going to get a man to self-reflect. Over-performing is not going to get a man to self-reflect. Over-communicating is not going to get a man to self-reflect. You have to create distance by removing yourself and giving him silence so he's able to self-reflect. Unfortunately, your silence will sometimes cut deeper than anything you could ever tell him. And I'm saying unfortunately because you shouldn't have to go to that extent, but in some cases, this is the reality of it. And the most fascinating thing about all of this is that when a woman finally decides to leave a man's life, usually it's once and for all, because women will plead, they will explain, they will even cry, they will pour out their emotions to us as men. And in some cases, we don't listen until it's too damn late. Here we have a woman telling us the issues that are existing within the dynamic, and we choose to not listen to her until she finally decides to leave us. That's when we suddenly start to care, but by then it's too damn late. And when a woman finally decides to leave a man's life, usually she's mentally and emotionally checked out, and there's no turning back. There's no getting her back at all once she finally decides to leave. And it's not even about her not loving the man anymore. It's about her finally choosing to love herself. That is exactly why your silence as a woman is the greatest wake-up call to a man. Love doesn't thrive in neglect. It thrives in effort. It thrives in reciprocity. Don't be the woman who stayed and endured all this neglect thinking that's what made her worth something. Be the woman who got away and the woman who chose herself.
And at times, going silent reveals a man's attachment style, his commitment to you, if he wants relationship, if he wants the marriage, or he just wants out. But mostly it reveals his attachment style. Sometimes when you go quiet, there are men who will say, oh, she's quiet, I'm also going to keep quiet. Oh, she's not talking, I'm also not going to talk. So now it can also reveal a side of that man that you didn't know about. If a man actually doesn't have a healthy attachment style, like if he's an avoidant, for example, he's going to let it go. He's not going to reach out. He's not going to sit down with himself and do self-introspection. He's not going to try and fix anything. So that's the other side of being quiet, of being silent. You get to know, you get to see if this man really wants to be with you, if this man is willing to change, or no, he's just an avoidant. He's not going to correct anything. He just wants you to go with the flow. He's like, if you cannot take me as I am, then I'm not changing anything about myself. There are also those kinds of men. So when we go quiet as women, when we go silent, we also need to be aware of that other side of man who really reveal the kind of man that you're dealing with. At times, some women, that they don't go silent because they want you to come back or they want you to fix anything. It's because they are done. When you've spoken so much about something, when a man keeps hurting you, when a man keeps on treating you like you are nothing, you then get to that point really where when you decide to go quiet, when you decide to go silent, it's because you're tired, you're done. And it can be the end game. No, it's not because you want to teach him a lesson, it's not because you want him to change anything anymore, but it's because you are done. There is also that side of women. As women, a lot of women, I am one of them. When I've spoken a lot about a certain issue and I decide to go quiet, it's really the end for me. It's really, I do not want you to fix anything. I do not want you to reach out. I do not want you anywhere near me. I am done. And when I'm done, I'm really done. You're going to feel the coldness, because even if you try to call me, even if you try to reach out, I'm just no longer available. I'm just gone, because I've tried to talk, you're not listening. I've tried to tell you that, you know what, this thing you're doing, you're actually pushing me away, but you thought, oh no, she's not going anywhere. So when I decide to go quiet myself, it's really the end. It's really it. I'm not coming back. I don't want you back. I don't want you to fix anything. I don't want you near me. So there is those kind of women who, when they go quiet, when they go silent, they're really done, because they do prioritize their mental health. So if you love this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.